not a lot of people would even take the time to share their journey and tell the truth about the bad, tell the truth about the good and the bad, because it's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows, like I've been saying recently with the room rental hack. The one guy that is an alcoholic, he's a little older, he's driving me nuts. But I must say, he pays, and I get my money weekly, and he pays every week. That's the only reason why I've had gotten rid of him. But I'll constantly argue with him. He's filthy. And I have a clean place, no bugs, no mice, and I'm trying to keep it that way. Excuse me. But on this journey, I'm telling you the truth that I'm actually building an AI marketing agency. No technical skills at all. So hopefully it'll encourage you guys to be like, yo, if this dude could do it, anybody can do it. I'm over 50. I have been an entrepreneur for many years. Outside of just being an Uber driver for the past 7. I had my own brick and mortar store. I talk about the story a lot. Way back in 98 when pagers were phasing out and the phones were coming in. After leaving my mentor for working from him for several years, I went out and got my own store. But back then, I lasted for 3 years, by the way. But back then, I did not understand that about personal credit. I didn't understand about business credit. There was no regular person even that I knew of in my family that was an entrepreneur that I could be like, learn some things from. And nowadays, everybody's an entrepreneur. So you guys coming up in this time, you really got no excuse. You don't even have to show your face. For these people that, I refuse to show my face on video, you don't even have to show your face anymore. The technologies, the best technology since the internet, you have it. And the internet, when it came out, was a big deal. It was a big deal. When the cell phone came out, it was a big deal. Bitcoin, believe it or not. I got a little crypto, but I'm not like a super big crypto person. But 2017, everybody was going nuts about cryptocurrency. And that wasn't even at the height of it. It's that big. I don't understand why everybody don't see it. And I think they can't see past like a chat bot. They can't see past that. But what I was talking about in one of my last videos about how I literally asked my agent, not my real person agent, I'm talking about my AI agent, about how to plan out my future, and it gave me like a detailed blueprint to where I could get to that C Corp. I was like, wow. I actually think I'm going to be able to pull off And this will be probably not my biggest company, because remember, the goal is to just the family LLC. This is just to get everything going. The C Corp is going to be bigger. It's going to be bigger because I want to build something that is generational. I want to build something generational. I mean, I'll have the trust and I'll have the holding company even, but this is something that I want to either go public or sell and hand it off to people that are more qualified than me at some point, and just the money flows forever. You know, that's kind of where I'm going with the next level. But right now, as somebody famously said to me, "Oh, you're still in the beginning stages." I am, but I'm a lot further than some of the people that might be watching me right now. You know, or some of you might be slightly ahead of me, meaning you have your entity, you have some business credit. That's great. But you got to think bigger. You got to think about building a company that you don't even have to be there day to day and it still makes money. That is going to be possible with these AI agents, where you could build $1 million company all run by bots, and you might have to dedicate 3 or 4 computers to the upkeep and making sure everything's running right, and you might have to hire like one person that is making sure everything is running right. But other than that, you literally can have pretty much almost a one person. You can have a one person business if you're, I would say, way more advanced than me, which is very easy. You literally could be a coder and you're already ahead of me, way ahead of me. I'm just learning this AI game. So, like, following me, like, think beginning stages. I want you to think beginning stages because I want you to follow me along the journey of building this to something bigger. And I had a holding company for a couple of years now, but I made a lot of mistakes. So I'm kind of like starting over with this new company. I made so many mistakes, and I'm starting fresh with going in with good personal credit. I'm doing something I've never done before because I couldn't find a real source. I'm going after grants before I even worry about funding. I'm going after grants first, because grants will give me that infusion of cash that I can literally just put in my business account and let it sit for the next stages, which will probably be funding. Now, with the funding, really all I need is probably, I know a lot of people would love to get $500,000 like quickly. I don't even want it quickly. I want to slowly over time, and when I say time, probably going through this year, just want to build a minimum. Of course, I can go above, but a minimum of probably 150K is probably all I need to go to the next step, which is to set up the main corp, the C Corp, and start building out or looking for the coder, because I'm probably going to hire at least one person that could do some coding, use some of these AI tools, build the platform of my dreams, my software platform of my dreams that actually solves a problem in social media, and let that company do its thing and build endless amounts of credit on it. Endless, if I can. Build endless amount of credit and start implementing where the shares of ownership of the company go, in case I die and stuff like that. It's all going to be part of the overall, future planning with the holding company, and the holding company is going to be owned by the Living Trust, and I'm not even going to focus really on spending too much other than marketing to make more money to keep the hamster wheel going. So money will be spent on some paid traffic, but I like that I have the social media and I have so many channels, I can see what people are interested in, and then all you got to do is add fuel to the fire with the paid ads, and then probably my own media platform, because I think in the future you won't be able to just rely on YouTube like you can now. I love YouTube, don't get me wrong, but I think everybody in the future is going to need their own platform just in case. Literally, it could be the same videos, the same content you already put out, but put on your own platform and slowly build enough followers. And I don't want to start from scratch, so I am starting a new email list. But I'm afraid, and I'll tell you what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid if I give it out for free, like I start a free email list, the free people a lot of times won't spend money later. That's what I'm afraid of. Even if something as low as like less than $5 a month, you at least weave out the serious people that may spend money later. That's what I'm really worried about. I'm worried about if I do it for free. And if I'm worried about if I don't do it for free, I won't gain as many people, because obviously I'll gain more people if it's free, especially in these hard times. But I'm thinking I could charge a small amount. If I could charge just a small amount and get enough people in a membership or a group where we share ideas and we talk about the future of AI, that would work if I could just find that price point that will work. The AI is telling me I could charge as much as $47 because I have 5 YouTube channels and people will buy. I don't know. I might have to do it as low as $27. Let me know. I know some of you cheap people are going to comment it should be free, but I'm talking about you realistic people that want to build a business of your own someday. What amount would you pay right now to an entry-level journey where we all share ideas? It ain't just about me, but it's a platform where we come to that's not on LinkedIn or Facebook, that we can really share ideas, and you can have contact with me where you'll be able to actually get me on the phone by way of this group. How much would you pay? I'm thinking to get me on the phone part, that's where I might be able to charge $47, because I did an experiment on my channel where if you paid me $47, that was enough to get me on the phone for an hour. And people love the idea of getting me on the phone for an hour just to share their ideas. A lot of people just want to share. It's not like I gave them all this crazy, great knowledge. People want to share the idea with like-minded people. And sometimes it makes them feel good. And that's why I think people get pissed off at Glendon Cameron, because he won't get on the phone unless you pay him a large amount of money. And they really want to talk to Glendon. I don't know what it is, but people really want to talk to Glendon on the phone. you know. And I get it, because I get people that literally, I've gotten people when I did this experiment. I think I went up to $97 at one point. And that's where it dropped off. So I think I am going to do $47, you know. And I think I might do your second month, you get me on the phone. Because if you do it the first month, you're going to get people to just drop off the second month. You know, you don't want that. You want people to stay in the group, share their ideas with each other, share some value content. And if I could get that to work at $47, I think that's a good price point. And I don't know if it was ChatGPT or Gemini told me that's where I should kind of start. Now for the Family LLC, I don't know if I want to make that a course or do I want to make that a higher tier membership? I'm thinking a one price course, like a one time, maybe $97 one time, and you get the course, and it'll have like 9 to 10 videos breaking down, not necessarily a AI company, but a family LLC that could be funded by gig economy, your side hustles, doing babysitting, cutting hair, you know, dog walking, e-commerce. Your family LLC is your starting point. So I'm thinking about and breaking it down from, you know, going to busy. Well, that won't be the first step, but getting your business address, which should come before you go to busy and get your registered agent. Your domain with the email to match, very important. And I've already done that, so I have the information and the referral links to send you guys to each step. And probably with the first fintech bank I go with, it'll probably be a referral link for that, so you guys can sign up for the same bank for your first bank. Eventually, at some point, you're going to go to a brick and mortar bank. You know, brick and mortar banks are where you're going to get the big money, but it doesn't have to be up front. Up front, you just want to get your feet wet, get an account open, get that grant money in that account, and now you have some money to play with where you can move some of that money to another account later. So this is where I'm at. The only thing I still have to do is I haven't released where I'm going to do the bank account yet, and I still am probably going to get the business insurance. When I say business insurance, we're talking about very affordable. We're talking like $25 to $30 a month. We're not talking anything the starter business can't afford, you know. But it'll be like hundreds of thousands worth of coverage, you know, but for like $25 a month. That's what you want to. The higher the coverage amount on paper is what you want. You know, if you can get $1 million coverage and the company is only charging you $30 a month, you know, basic liability coverage, that looks good on paper. So when you open your account, they see that, it looks nice. You know, it looks really nice. But I think that's all I got for you guys today. I'm on track. Oh, I got into my other YouTube channels. So it was a problem. I couldn't get in on a desktop. It was a bug or a problem with YouTube because Now it's unblocked. It was at some point where the channels were blocked and you had to do the two-step authentication crap, and I couldn't get around it. Today I go and log in and it's gone. I can be able to get in other channels now. So I was able to get on my phone, but I wasn't able to get in on desktop. So it was a little annoying because I used the desktop, not the desktop. I got a little laptop. And it was a little annoying because I use the laptop most of the time because I can see everything bigger. I hate uploading videos from a cell phone. I don't even like doing it through TikTok. I like going through the laptop and going to TikTok and do the video that way. But marketing, we're going to be talking a lot about marketing. After all, this is an AI marketing agency. So we'll be talking about a lot about the tools going in the future. Every time a new video generator comes out, I might talk about that. And I want to get to the point where I'm at a desk in like an office setting, looking more professional. I know you guys tired of seeing me sitting in the car. It works great for rideshare, being in the car, but not so much when you're talking about the future of AI. So eventually we'll be in an office setting, with some nice lighting, but we got to crawl before we can walk. And right now I'm worried about getting grants, because the bigger the grants, the more I could do. If I can get a grant big enough and be like, I need a grant to acquire employee or a bigger working space for future employees, or a studio, I definitely can get a big grant on the fact that I need a studio. So if I can rent a retail setting for a studio, now I have the office and the location for what? The C Corp. I already have the space. So that would work out if I could pull that off. But, let's see what happens. I'm not trying to be Glendon. I'm not trying to paint you guys a picture that I'm going to be a millionaire overnight. But you got to admit, I got a plan. I got social media. I got AI. I'm not technical, but the tools are so easy. You don't got to be technical. You don't got to be technical anymore. And I know a little something from the wireless industry, so I'm not completely dumb, but, you don't got to show your face anymore. There's no more excuses not to put traffic or use YouTube as a traffic source. So, and that's just one traffic source. TikTok, I'm probably going to pay to get more exposure at some point. I was trying to wait that out of spending money for that, but I'm probably going to do that and see how that traffic works. And I'll let you guys know about that. But thank you guys for your continued support, your time, listen to me rant. I hope you guys are learning that, especially people over 40, I would say, this is your time, whether you're young or old. The technology's out there. You don't got to be technical. And I think everybody listening to me could build at least a 6-figure a year big business. 100,000 a year, a modest number. But I think everybody listening to me could do that with the current technology we have this day. Is everybody gonna do that? No. Because you got your hustlers and you got your people that don't do anything. There's people on here that probably been listening to me probably for years and hasn't even started a channel, much less a LLC or a business. So, but again, that's all I got. Subscribe, like, comment, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Check the links below, too. Thanks.